He went into great detail. He told me, Charlie bent me over in between two trailers and put Crisco oil on my butt and to me. In broad daylight, anybody could have walked by, anybody could have seen it.
And he told me that it was Charlie Sheen that did it. And then I said, well, who is it? And then he says, Charlie.
He had said to him, this is what men do.
It was pretty much common knowledge. I mean, Charlie Sheen was diddling him on the set of Lucas.
Have you had any celebrity sex?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with radical people like Sean Penn and Mel Gibson and Colin Farrell and P. Rose.
When Charlie Sheen denied the allegations from Corey Feldman and Corey Haim, many believed he was telling the truth. However, he later dropped his lawsuit against Corey Feldman, who claimed Haim told him he was touched inappropriately and even worse behind the scenes of the TV show Lucas. But now, after these allegations were laid to rest, a new reality, far darker than anyone had imagined, has been revealed about Charlie Sheen by Corey Feldman. There are some sinister actions that happened that nobody knows about. Carlos Irwin Estévez, widely known as Charlie Sheen, was born on September 3, 1965 in New York City. He was the youngest son of Martin Sheen, born Ramon Antonio Gerardo Estévez, a respected actor famous for his roles in Apocalypse Now and The West Wing. His mother, Janet Templeton, was an artist. Growing up in a household immersed in the arts, Charlie and his siblings, Emilio, Ramon, and Renee, were exposed to the entertainment industry from an early age. The Sheen household was often a hub of creative energy, surrounded by scripts, actors, and discussions about film and television. This environment undoubtedly shaped Charlie's aspirations and future career in acting. Raised in Malibu, California, Charlie attended Santa Monica High School, where he developed a passion for acting and baseball. He played on the school's baseball team and showed early signs of his penchant for theatrics by producing amateur films with his brother Emilio and school friends like Rob Lowe and Sean Penn. Even in his teenage years, Charlie displayed the charm, charisma, and rebellious streak that would later become his trademarks. However, his education took a back seat to his burgeoning desire to act. Charlie's academic performance was inconsistent, often overshadowed by his interest in movies and a developing taste for living on the edge. This attitude led to his expulsion from Santa Monica High School just weeks before graduation due to poor attendance and low grades. Charlie Sheen's first foray into professional acting came with a small role in his father's film, The Execution of Private Slovik, 1974. However, his official acting debut was in the 1984 Cold War drama Red Dawn, where he played a high school student turned guerrilla fighter. The movie, though not a major critical success, was a commercial hit and gave Charlie his first taste of Hollywood life. His breakout role came in Oliver Stone's Platoon, 1986, where he played Chris Taylor, a young soldier in the Vietnam War. The film won several Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and was praised for its gritty realism and powerful performances. Sheen's portrayal of a soldier grappling with the horrors of war brought him critical acclaim and established him as a serious actor. His role in Platoon demonstrated his range and ability to handle emotionally complex characters, setting the stage for future opportunities. Following Platoon, Charlie starred in another Oliver Stone film, Wall Street, 1987, alongside Michael Douglas. As Bud Fox, a young and ambitious stockbroker, Sheen perfectly embodied the greed and ambition of 1980s Wall Street culture. Wall Street was both a critical and commercial success, further solidifying Sheen's status as a leading man in Hollywood. In the late 1980s, Charlie Sheen's path crossed with two other young actors, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, who were quickly becoming Hollywood's new teen heartthrobs. Known as the Two Coreys, Haim and Feldman starred in several films together, including The Lost Boys, 1987, and License to Drive, 1988, and were seen as the epitome of 1980s teen culture. They represented a certain youthful energy and innocence that resonated deeply with audiences at the time. Both actors were riding high on the success of their careers, becoming icons for a generation that idolized their on-screen personas and off-screen camaraderie. However, beneath the surface of their burgeoning careers lay a much darker reality. The Hollywood of the 1980s, while glamorous and full of opportunity, was also a place rife with exploitation and predatory behavior, particularly towards young actors who were often seen as disposable commodities. Corey Haim, in particular, struggled with the pressures of fame and the personal traumas he experienced during this period. While Haim and Feldman appeared to have it all, their personal lives were fraught with pain, confusion, and the darker aspects of Hollywood's behind-the-scenes reality. Charlie Sheen's relationship with Corey Haim became a particularly complex and controversial chapter in his life. Allegations surfaced years later regarding inappropriate behavior by Sheen toward Haim during the filming of Lucas, 1986, a coming-of-age film where both actors starred. These allegations, which were made public in the years following Haim's tragic death in 2010, painted a harrowing picture of the abuse that young actors were subjected to during that era. The accusations were part of a broader narrative of abuse that emerged in Corey Feldman's 2013 memoir, Choreography, where Feldman detailed the predatory behavior prevalent in Hollywood during the 1980s. Feldman, who was a close friend of Haim's, suggested that Haim had confided in him about his troubling experiences with older men in the industry, including Sheen. These revelations sent shockwaves through Hollywood, as they exposed a side of the industry that was often hidden from the public eye. Feldman's accounts highlighted the systemic nature of the abuse, suggesting that it was not limited to isolated incidents, but rather part of a broader culture of exploitation. The fact that such high-profile actors like Sheen were implicated brought a renewed focus on the industry's failures to protect its young talent. The entertainment industry, which had long been criticized for its treatment of women, was now being scrutinized for its treatment of children and young actors, with the narrative surrounding the two Coreys at the forefront of these discussions. Sheen has consistently denied these allegations, maintaining that he never engaged in any inappropriate behavior with Haim. His denials, however, have done little to quell the controversy or mitigate the damage to his reputation. The allegations, whether proven or not, have cast a long shadow over his career and public image. The accusations against Sheen were not just about one individual's actions, but were seen as indicative of a broader problem within Hollywood. This context made it difficult for Sheen to escape the scrutiny and speculation that followed, as many began to question the culture of silence and complicity that allowed such behavior to go unchecked for so long. The impact of these allegations on Sheen's career and personal life was profound. They added another layer to the already complex narrative surrounding his public persona, which was marked by both professional success and personal scandal. The allegations against Sheen, coupled with his own well-documented struggles with addiction and erratic behavior, contributed to a perception of him as a deeply troubled individual whose personal demons often overshadowed his professional accomplishments. For many, the stories of Haim, Feldman, and Sheen became intertwined in a narrative of lost innocence and the predatory nature of the entertainment industry, with Sheen often at the center of these discussions. The controversy also prompted a broader conversation about the need for greater protections for young actors in Hollywood. The stories shared by Haim and Feldman, along with the allegations against Sheen, underscored the vulnerability of young performers and the importance of creating a safer environment in the entertainment industry. Advocacy groups began to push for more stringent regulations and oversight to protect child actors from exploitation, and the public became more aware of the systemic issues that had long plagued Hollywood. Despite the ongoing debates and the lack of concrete evidence to definitively prove the allegations against Sheen, the damage to his reputation was undeniable. The court of public opinion often operates on perception rather than proof, and in Sheen's case, the association with such serious accusations, coupled with his own troubled history, made it difficult for him to escape the stigma. As the entertainment industry continues to grapple with its past and present, the stories of Haim, Feldman, and Sheen serve as a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance, accountability, and compassion in protecting the most vulnerable among us. Throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s, Sheen continued to build his career with roles in films like Young Guns, 1988, Major League, 1989, and Hot Shots, 1991. These roles showcased his versatility as an actor, capable of performing in both dramatic and comedic roles. Hot Shots and its sequel were particularly successful, cementing Sheen's reputation for comedic timing and earning him a dedicated fan base. Despite his professional success, Sheen's personal life was increasingly marked by excess and scandal. The early 1990s saw him embroiled in a series of legal and personal issues, including accusations of drug abuse, reckless behavior, and domestic violence. His tumultuous relationship with actress Kelly Preston ended in 1990 after an accidental shooting incident, which further tarnished his public image. In 1995, Sheen's name appeared in the infamous Hollywood Madam scandal when it was revealed that he was a client of Heidi Fleiss, a well-known madam. Sheen testified in court that he had spent over $50,000 on prostitutes, a revelation that only added to his reputation as a bad boy in Hollywood. Despite these controversies, Sheen continued to find work in Hollywood, largely due to his undeniable talent and box office appeal. Charlie Sheen's transition from film to television came in the early 2000s with his role on the hit sitcom Spin City. He replaced Michael J. Fox in 2000 and quickly became a fan favorite, earning a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a television series, musical or comedy. This role revitalized his career and set the stage for his most iconic television role as Charlie Harper on 2.5 Men. Premiering in 2003, 2.5 Men quickly became one of the most popular sitcoms on television, with Sheen's portrayal of a hedonistic jingle writer resonating with audiences. The show ran for 8 seasons with Sheen, making him one of the highest-paid actors on television, earning a reported $1.8 million per episode at the height of its success. The character of Charlie Harper seemed tailor-made for Sheen, drawing on his real-life persona as a womanizer and partygoer. However, Sheen's off-screen behavior increasingly mirrored the reckless lifestyle of his character. His battle with substance abuse became public knowledge, with multiple stints in rehab and a series of highly publicized meltdowns. In 2011, Sheen's erratic behavior reached a tipping point, leading to his highly publicized departure from 2.5 Men. After making disparaging remarks about the show's creator, Chuck Lorre, and engaging in a series of bizarre interviews where he famously declared he was winning and had tiger blood, Sheen was fired from the show. Sheen's departure from 2.5 Men marked a significant turning point in his career. His public meltdown, characterized by erratic behavior and grandiose statements, became a media sensation. Phrases like winning, tiger blood, and Adonis DNA entered the public lexicon, and Sheen's bizarre antics were widely covered by news outlets and became the subject of countless internet memes. In the wake of his firing, Sheen launched a nationwide tour called My Violent Torpedo of Truth: Defeat is Not an Option, which received mixed reviews and was widely seen as an attempt to capitalize on his newfound notoriety. The tour featured Sheen sharing anecdotes from his life and career, often in a rambling and incoherent manner. The public fascination with Sheen's meltdown underscored a growing trend in celebrity culture, where personal struggles and erratic behavior often receive more attention than professional achievements. Sheen's erratic behavior and substance abuse issues also had a profound impact on his personal relationships. His marriages to Donna Peel, Denise Richards, and Brooke Muller all ended in divorce, with allegations of infidelity, abuse, and substance abuse often surfacing in the media. His relationships with his children were also strained, with Richards and Mueller both obtaining restraining orders against him at different points. Throughout his career, Sheen struggled with substance abuse, a battle that began in his early 20s and continued for decades. His addiction issues were often intertwined with his professional life, leading to multiple stints in rehab and several highly publicized relapses. Initially, Sheen's substance use was perceived as part of the rebellious, party-loving persona that he had cultivated both on-screen and off. However, as the years went by, it became increasingly clear that his drug and alcohol use was not just recreational, but a serious and destructive addiction that would have far-reaching consequences on both his career and personal life. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Sheen's drug use escalated dramatically. He became a regular fixture in tabloid headlines for his wild antics and frequent run-ins with the law. During this period, his career began to suffer, with fewer roles coming his way as producers, and studios became wary of his erratic behavior. His addiction led to a series of legal issues, including arrests for drug possession and domestic violence. Sheen's frequent brushes with the law only added to his notoriety, casting a shadow over his professional achievements and earning him a reputation as one of Hollywood's most troubled stars. In 1998, Sheen suffered a near-fatal overdose after a drug binge that left him hospitalized. This incident, which Sheen later described as a wake-up call, could have been a turning point for him. Many hoped that the scare would lead him to seek long-term help and change his ways. Sheen briefly seemed to stabilize after the overdose, publicly vowing to turn his life around. However, despite this, he continued to struggle with addiction, with his issues often playing out in the public eye. His efforts to maintain sobriety were often short-lived, with frequent relapses that were widely reported by the media. In 2010, Sheen was arrested for domestic violence charges against his then-wife, Brooke Mueller. This arrest was another in a long line of public scandals that marked Sheen's troubled personal life. The incident led to another stint in rehab, but even this was not enough to help him maintain sobriety for an extended period. His addiction issues were further exacerbated by his tumultuous personal life, with multiple marriages, affairs, and legal battles only adding to the chaos. Each relationship seemed to end in turmoil, often involving allegations of violence, infidelity, and substance abuse, painting a picture of a man whose life was in a constant state of disarray. Sheen's struggles with addiction were not only personal, but also professional. On the set of 2.5 Men, his addiction problems began to interfere with production, leading to tensions with cast and crew members, and ultimately contributing to his firing from the show in 2011. His increasingly erratic behavior, fueled by substance abuse, was often the subject of public and media scrutiny, with Sheen himself sometimes appearing on talk shows and social media to defend his actions in a bizarre and incoherent manner. His public meltdowns became infamous, particularly during the Tiger Blood and Winning phase, where Sheen's behavior reached a new level of erratic. The fallout from Sheen's addiction issues was significant, leading to strained relationships with his family, friends, and colleagues. His father, Martin Sheen, and brother, Emilio Estévez, both publicly expressed concern for Charlie's well-being, describing his addiction as a disease that the family had to navigate together. His children, too, were often caught in the crossfire of his chaotic lifestyle, leading to court battles over custody and allegations of child endangerment. These family dynamics highlighted the broader impact of Sheen's addiction, showing how it extended beyond just his own life to affect those closest to him. Despite the numerous attempts at rehabilitation, Charlie Sheen's battle with addiction has been a long and arduous journey, marked by moments of hope followed by relapse. The cyclical nature of addiction has been evident in Sheen's life, with each attempt at sobriety eventually giving way to a return to substance use. His story serves as a stark reminder of the challenges that come with addiction, particularly in the high-pressure environment of Hollywood, where access to drugs and alcohol is often easy, and where public scrutiny can exacerbate personal struggles. In November 2015, Charlie Sheen made a shocking revelation on NBC's Today Show. He was HIV positive. Sheen stated that he had been diagnosed 4 years earlier and had chosen to keep his condition private to avoid a media frenzy and protect his family's privacy. The actor disclosed that he had been living with the virus in secret, enduring the fear and anxiety of his diagnosis alone. He also revealed that he had been the victim of extortion, paying millions of dollars to keep his diagnosis from becoming public, as he feared the potential backlash and stigma that might come from the disclosure. Sheen's decision to come forward was partly motivated by a desire to stop the extortion, which he described as a draining and ongoing financial and emotional burden. By making his status public, Sheen hoped to put an end to the blackmail and regain control over his narrative. Additionally, he aimed to use his disclosure as an opportunity to raise awareness about HIV and encourage others living with the virus to seek support and treatment. His announcement was met with a mix of shock, sympathy, and criticism, as many were surprised by his revelation and concerned about the implications of his previous actions. Sheen's openness about his condition sparked a national conversation about HIV and the stigma surrounding it, with Sheen using his platform to advocate for increased awareness and education. He appeared on various talk shows and in interviews, discussing his experience with HIV and emphasizing the importance of safe practices, regular testing, and reducing stigma. For some, Sheen's candidness was seen as a positive step towards reducing the stigma associated with HIV, particularly in a society where misconceptions about the virus still persist. His willingness to talk about his diagnosis helped to humanize the condition and provided a more relatable face for HIV awareness. However, the revelation also had significant personal and professional repercussions. Several of Sheen's former partners sued him for allegedly exposing them to the virus without their knowledge, claiming that he had not informed them of his status before engaging in intimate relationships. These lawsuits only added to the ongoing legal battles Sheen faced, further complicating his already tumultuous life. His personal life, already marked by public scrutiny and controversy, became even more complicated as he navigated the fallout from his disclosure. Sheen faced not only legal ramifications, but also a loss of trust and a strained reputation in the public eye. Despite these challenges, Sheen continued to work in Hollywood, albeit with a lower profile than during his peak years. He took on smaller roles and guest appearances, focusing more on his health and advocacy work than his acting career. His disclosure, while initially disruptive, also offered him a path to redemption in the eyes of some, as he took responsibility for his actions and sought to educate others. His journey with HIV became part of his public narrative, reshaping his image from that of a reckless celebrity to a man confronting his past mistakes and advocating for a cause. Following his departure from 2.5 Men, Sheen attempted to revive his career with the FX series Anger Management, which premiered in 2012. The show was loosely based on the 2003 film of the same name, and Sheen played a former baseball player turned anger management therapist. Despite a strong start, the show received mixed reviews and was canceled after 2 seasons. In the years following Anger Management, Sheen's acting career slowed considerably. He made occasional guest appearances on television shows and took on smaller film roles, but he struggled to regain the status he once held as one of Hollywood's top actors. The combination of his personal struggles, public meltdowns, and controversial behavior had left an indelible mark on his career. Despite the setbacks, Sheen has made efforts to rehabilitate his public image in recent years. He has been more open about his struggles with addiction and his HIV diagnosis, using his platform to advocate for greater awareness and understanding. Sheen has also expressed regret for some of his past behavior, particularly regarding his treatment of women and his tumultuous relationships. In interviews, Sheen has acknowledged the mistakes he made during his career and expressed a desire to move forward and rebuild his life. He has been candid about his battles with addiction and the impact they had on his career and personal life. Despite his efforts to turn over a new leaf, Sheen's past continues to follow him, and he remains a polarizing figure in Hollywood. The allegations involving Corey Haim and Corey Feldman have been a significant aspect of Charlie Sheen's narrative, casting a shadow over his career and personal life. Feldman's memoir and subsequent interviews reignited discussions about Hollywood's dark underbelly and the exploitation of young actors. The accusations against Sheen have never been proven, but they have significantly impacted his public image and reputation. Sheen has vehemently denied the allegations, and no legal charges have been filed against him in connection with Haim. However, the accusations have highlighted the predatory behavior that was rampant in Hollywood during the 1980s and 1990s and have sparked broader conversations about protecting young actors in the industry. Feldman has continued to advocate for survivors of abuse in Hollywood, using his platform to call for greater accountability and transparency. His efforts have brought renewed attention to the issue of abuse in the entertainment industry and have underscored the importance of listening to and supporting survivors. Sheen's connection to this narrative, whether guilty or innocent, has further complicated his public image and contributed to the ongoing controversy surrounding his career. Charlie Sheen's career has been marked by extreme highs and lows, from his early success in iconic films like Platoon and Wall Street to his rise as one of television's highest-paid actors on 2.5 Men. His talent as an actor is undeniable, with a range that spans both dramatic and comedic roles. However, his personal life has often overshadowed his professional achievements, with a series of scandals, legal battles, and public meltdowns defining much of his public persona. Sheen's story is a cautionary tale about the pressures and pitfalls of fame, particularly in an industry that often glorifies excess and indulgence. His struggles with addiction, legal issues, and allegations of inappropriate behavior have been well documented, and his journey has been fraught with controversy and turmoil. Yet, despite these challenges, Sheen has shown a remarkable ability to bounce back, maintaining a presence in Hollywood even after multiple setbacks. In recent years, Sheen has made efforts to address his past behavior and move towards a more positive future. He has been open about his struggles with addiction and his health issues, using his platform to raise awareness and advocate for change. While his efforts to rehabilitate his image have met with mixed success, they demonstrate a willingness to confront his past and work towards a better future. Charlie Sheen's legacy in Hollywood is a complex one, marked by both incredible talent and significant controversy. He is a figure who has captivated audiences with his performances, while simultaneously shocking them with his off-screen antics. His story is one of a gifted actor whose career has been both defined and derailed by his personal demons. Despite the controversies that have plagued his career, Sheen remains a notable figure in Hollywood history. His performances in films like Platoon and Wall Street continue to be celebrated, and his role on 2.5 Men remains iconic in the annals of television comedy. His journey serves as a reminder of the highs and lows of fame, the challenges of addiction, and the importance of accountability and redemption. In the end, Charlie Sheen's story is a testament to the complexities of human nature and the enduring allure of Hollywood. His career has been a roller coaster of triumphs and tribulations, reflecting the often tumultuous reality of life in the spotlight. Whether seen as a talented actor who fell from grace or a troubled soul seeking redemption, Charlie Sheen remains one of the most fascinating figures in the entertainment industry.